Imagine standing at the crossroads of life where the rush of the world collides with an inner yearning for peace and freedom. It's a familiar struggle, isn't it? We chase after success, possessions, relationships, and yet, somehow, there's this nagging feeling that something essential is missing. This is where the teachings of Yati Panchakam come into play, a profound yet concise work by the great philosopher Adi Shankara, who lived in the 9th century. His insights into renunciation offer us a roadmap to navigate this chaotic existence. Yati Panchakam, which translates to the 5 verses of renunciation, isn't just a relic of ancient wisdom. It's a guide for anyone who feels overwhelmed by the material world. Shankara wrote this towards the end of his life, distilling years of philosophical thought into 5 powerful verses. Each verse addresses a key aspect of renunciation, ultimately leading us toward the ultimate goal of liberation, or moksha. Let's dive into the first verse, where Shankara emphasizes the importance of detachment. Picture a balloon filled with air. The moment you let go, it soars high, free from the constraints of the ground. Similarly, true renunciation begins with letting go of worldly desires and attachments. It's not about abandoning life or shutting ourselves off from the world. Rather, it's about recognizing that our happiness shouldn't depend on fleeting things. In a society that constantly encourages us to acquire more, Shankara's words remind us that true freedom lies in detachment. Imagine living life where your joy isn't tied to possessions or status. How liberating would that be? Moving on to the second verse, we encounter the theme of mental control. Now, let's be real, how often do our minds race with distractions? It's like trying to catch a butterfly in a storm. Shankara tells us that mastering our minds is crucial for a renunciant. This doesn't mean suppressing our thoughts or emotions. It means cultivating a discipline that allows us to observe our thoughts without getting swept away by them. Think of it as training for a marathon. Mental control is about building resilience, focusing on what truly matters, and not letting the chaos of life derail us. In a world filled with notifications and obligations, isn't this the kind of mastery we all crave? The third verse paints a vivid picture of a bird perched high on a tree, unaffected by the storms below. This imagery encapsulates the ideal relationship a renunciant should have with the external world. We often get caught up in the highs and lows of life, relationships, career ups and downs, societal expectations. Shankara encourages us to adopt a perspective where we can witness life's events without becoming entangled in them. Imagine being able to experience joy and sorrow without feeling like they define you. It's about embracing life as it comes while maintaining an inner peace that remains untouched by external. Now, let's explore the fourth verse, where Shankara challenges us to eradicate the sense of duality. This is where things get really interesting. We often think of ourselves as separate entities, distinct from the universe and each other. But what if we could shift our perception? Shankara urges us to recognize the oneness of the individual self and the universal self. This understanding is liberating. It dissolves the barriers we create and helps us see ourselves and everything around us. Imagine walking through life with the awareness that we are all interconnected, that the joys and struggles of others resonate within us. This isn't just a philosophical idea, it's a transformative way of living. Finally, we arrive at the fifth verse, a powerful declaration of ultimate detachment. Here, Shankara proclaims that he is beyond the concepts of me and mine. This is the pinnacle of renunciation, freedom from the illusions that bind us to the material world. It's a bold statement, one that challenges the very core of our identity. In a culture that often defines us by what we own or achieve, embracing this idea can be revolutionary. Imagine living in a state where you're not defined by your possessions, your job, or even your relationships. It's about stepping into a space of pure being where you exist in harmony with the universe, free from the shackles of ego. Now, you might be wondering, how does this apply to my life today? In a world dominated by consumerism, the teachings of Yati Panchakam resonate deeply. They remind us that while material pursuits may offer temporary satisfaction, they are ultimately transient. Shankara's wisdom encourages us to focus on the eternal aspects of life: love, compassion, and the pursuit of knowledge. It's about cultivating an inner richness that transcends the superficial. So, whether you're a seeker of spiritual truth or simply someone navigating the complexities of modern life, the essence of Yati Panchakam offers invaluable insights. It beckons us to embrace detachment, master our minds, engage with the world without clinging, recognize our interconnectedness, and ultimately transcend the illusions of self. In conclusion, Adi Shankara's Yati Panchakam is not merely a philosophical text. It's a timeless guide for anyone yearning for liberation in a materialistic world. It invites us to embark on a journey of self-discovery, urging us to look beyond the surface and seek the eternal truths that lie within. Embracing these teachings can lead us to a life filled with purpose, peace, and profound connection. So, let's take a moment to reflect. How can we begin to incorporate these principles into our daily lives, and what shifts can we make to move closer to that state of liberation? The journey starts with a single step, and the choice is ours to make.